Hello everyone and welcome to a new edition of Useless Tutorials. Before we get into the video, I'm sorry I've been absent for all this time. As you can imagine, the global health crisis has thrown me a few curveballs, but I'm back in business, here to educate you on things that you don't need to be educated on. I also have a Patreon page where you can support me directly, and you will get access to polls for future videos and an exclusive live stream where I'll do a live tutorial of surprise items. Alright, so in this video we're going to learn how to push a button. Buttons basically trigger different things in our world, in our system. You could call them the original trigger warnings. Now, apologies, I have a cover on my keyboard, so it's a little cloudy. It's not dirt, it's just really old, but it's been a faithful protector of these buttons. Basically, how you press a button is you just grab your finger. You can use any finger or any part of your body. Some people press buttons with legs, others with their backs, others with their knees. I mean, there's just so many different ways to do it. But the traditional way is just to use your hand, right? So you grab your hand, usually your index finger, and this is a keyboard. We're on my Mac top computer. And this is perfect because the keyboard is just a collection of these buttons. This is actually the layout of most keyboards in the world. This is how you're going to actually find them. Laid out like this. Basically what you'd want to do here is apply the APBA rule, which is apply pressure, but not too much because it could break and we don't want that. So let's go with U. That's the initial for Useless Tutorials over here. I'm just going to grab my finger and I'm going to apply pressure, but not too much pressure to this. And I'm going to apply pressure downward. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to grab my index finger and push it like this. You see some things that got activated. This, in case you didn't know, this triggers the letter U on the computer. So after done pressing one button, guess what? I can press all the buttons. I can press any button I want. So I can just go G, H, G, J, sorry, K, L, O, P, I. I briefly want to touch on another kind of button pressing, which is where you apply pressure outward or downward. This is usually good for light switches and the like. For example, here we have a light switch, and the principle is actually pretty similar. You just apply pressure, but instead of going down vertically, there is a little bit of an angle here. You know, kind of go down at an angle, and so you just apply pressure. This is really good with your thumb because your thumb is like the beefiest of your fingers. So you can just really press it down and boom. You can't really tell because it's still daylight, but the light's on, as you can see here. Turns on, turns off. Anyway, so now that we learned that valuable lesson about pushing buttons, we'll be able to trigger so many things in our lives. It's going to be so exciting. So I hope you enjoyed the video. If you want to take part in deciding what tutorials I do next, become a backer on Patreon. Thanks for joining me today on this useless tutorial. I will see you next time.